Hello, and welcome back to the world of assassination and the subscriber contracts. And today's contract, and now for something completely different, set in Dartmoor. And the contract ID is up on the screen now for anyone who wishes to have a crack at it, and has been supplied to us today, courtesy of Paul Anderson, 37. So on to our briefing, and now for something completely different. Common targets, but different execution. And speaking of targets, today we have 5 of them. All must be eliminated whilst disguised as the mansion staff. 1 via injected poison, 1 via consumed poison, 1 in a full accident, and 2 via accidental explosion. We also have only 1 exit available. We cannot be spotted. We can have no bodies found excluding accidents and poisons. We must only eliminate our targets, and we cannot change disguise as our objectives. So for today's challenge, we'll be starting as the mansion staff, and we'll be bringing with us our ever trusty lockpick, a lethal syringe, and our silenced pistol. So right from the start and off the bat, we're just gonna make our way around, closing a few doors as we go in preparation for later on. We will leave Patrick Carlisle till last, and the reason for this will become apparent a little bit later. So at the bottom of the stairs and at the end of the corridor, we locate our first target, this young lady here. So we're just going to select our lethal syringe, and when she moves away from us towards the clock, we can then follow her in, jab her with our needle, and that is our first target taken care of. Don't milk it, dear, go down. There we go. Right, so on to targets number 2, 3 and 4. We're going to head off to the kitchens first of all, and we're going to grab ourselves a propane cylinder from the back of the room here. And in the lounge, or the main living space area, depending what you want to call it, we will find 2 of our targets. I believe this is Edward and Rebecca. So we're just going to throw our propane cylinder down at Edward's feet there. That looks perfect. We're then going to return to the kitchen for the second propane cylinder, and then make our way once again back to the lounge, and this time we'll place the propane cylinder on the edge of the coffee table there. So that's Edward and Rebecca taken care of. So we're now going to deal with the photographer. So we're going to head down to Mr. Fernsby's office here, lockpick our way inside, and on the windowsill to our right we will find a vial of lethal poison, and we're going to take that vial of lethal poison and we're going to run all the way through the building and out into the garden area. Now out here we have a couple of enforcers, one of which we do need to worry about slightly, and that's the young lady with the photographer. She is facing us as we come towards the fountain. So we're just going to give her a nice wide berth, and then around at the side of the fountain we find some lemonade. We're going to add our poison to that lemonade and then make our way to the greenhouse. Just going to wait for that guard to move away a little bit, and then we're going to lockpick our way into the greenhouse, grab the boat keys, as this is our one and only exit, and then we're going to return back to the mansion, again giving the young lady by the photographer a nice wide berth. So the photographer and the young lady's conversation has been triggered, and eventually the photographer will make his way to his drink, and he will find that he doesn't like it. We're going to try and get hold of Patrick here, but he is still not quite ready as yet. So we'll move on and we'll head upstairs, and and we're going to take care of Edward and Rebecca. So just out on the balcony here by the grandfather clock, we're just going to duck down, pull out our silenced pistol, find our leaking propane cylinder, line up our shot and await Rebecca to arrive, and then shoot our shot. Get a nice big bada boom. So that's 2 more targets taken care of, and while we are making our way back to the library, Mr. Flynn, the photographer, has finally sampled his lemonade. Now, because of the explosion, a lot of people will be panicking and running around, so we're just going to hang around in the library here for everyone to go back to their usual routines. Now, the reason I closed the doors earlier and am about to close it again is that we have an opportunity to dismiss the young maid downstairs, and we just need to wait for Mr. Carlyle here to send the other housekeeping staff member, who is the enforcer, away to the graveyard area. This does take a little while, but once the maid, the housekeeper, the serving staff, the help leaves, we can then make our way downstairs, and I was about to ask the young maid lady there to leave us, but she has done so of her own accord. Now, she's going to head upstairs and begin working and dusting. If we ask her to leave, she will stay downstairs and wander off somewhere else. I don't realise this at this moment, so Mr. Carlyle Patrick is now all alone, so we can render him unconscious and carry him all the way up the stairs. He won't go over the balcony, and we're just going to drop him over the balcony at the top here. Now, if you look on the minimap, you can see that young maid is over in the corner, but luckily enough, she does have her back to us. So we can just throw Mr. Carlyle straight over the edge, and that will count as an accident fall. So with all of our targets now dealt with, all that's left for us to do is to make good our escape, and our only exit, as mentioned, is the boat exit. Mr. Flynn has just been discovered, so there is a bit of panic in this area, but luckily enough we made it straight through, no worries. So all we have to do now is get in our boat and head back to the big cities. So there we go, 1 more subscriber contract taken care of, and we get confirmation all of our targets have been eliminated according to plan, and we have met all of our objectives, and that will gain us our Silent Assassin rating. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.